Hi everyone, welcome to Appliance Advisors. I'm Francesco, joined as always by my co-host Dennis. So in a previous episode, we talked about the appliances that we have in our home and any regrets that we've had with those. So now we're gonna flip it on its head a little bit. We're gonna talk about if money wasn't a factor, space wasn't a factor, if you could have any appliance in your home, what would you choose? Why don't you kick it off?
All right, if I'm gonna be asked, I could do anything now.
Yep.
Okay, money, all those things, that's great. Love to do this project. I would start off with the 42-inch French door Sub-Zero. Simply because it is tried and true. It works unbelievably. It's classic. And honestly, I like the height of the Sub-Zero. My wife is short. She's 5'2". And any of the taller ones, the Thermadors, the Miele, really Bosch, it doesn't matter, Gaggenau, any of that other type of column where the compressors are at the bottom, not the top, really, in my world, would put that refrigerator, the top third of that refrigerator, out of reach for my wife. Even for me at times, it's really hard. So I would do the French door Sub-Zero. I like its ethylene gas story on the filter. I like the build quality, brand recognition. If I'm going to spend that money, I'm going to spend the money on that brand that I think has the value there. Moving forward for cooking, I'd always do this. I do a 36-inch range. I always encourage people to do a 36-inch range when they're into that category. Again, you said money wasn't an object. So I do a 36-inch induction range. I think I've always said it on our channel that I think Wolf today, to this point, absolutely makes the best induction cooktop. I think it's true in their ranges as well. Everything from cleanability, because I think that's 50% of cooking is cleaning. The way they etch the top, the way the controls are intuitive, the way they're simple to use, the power of the burners and the layout. I mean, it's really great. And I have owned a 17-year-old Wolf gas stove, dual fuel in my house. And I just said it's 17 years old. We use it. We have 3 kids. We entertain a lot, and that thing has stood the test of time. So I'm just a believer in the build quality there. Stylistically, it works for me. Pretty transitional look, and going into the new year, they're gonna have a couple new handle styles, which I'd like. Almost a little bit better than the current model. Is a little modern for me, but I have more to come on that. I would back that up with the wall oven, a single wall oven, up high with the speed oven above. Mainly because day to day, that would probably be my most typical oven, because less bending as I get older. I just turned the big 5-0, and when you turn that age, man, you feel every creak and crack. I think most Americans have a bad back at some point in their life or some pains there. Less bending's better. So really having it at eye level and breaking up the flow of the kitchen when you do entertain, to have someone at the wall oven and maybe grabbing a big roast or something that's out of the main oven as part of the range kind of makes sense to me. And that speed oven really helps me keep those deeper cabinets that normally would be a microwave draw out of the play. I just like that. Moving on down the line, if I can continue to run here, I'd say for a dishwasher, it would probably be a Bosch. It's been the best dishwasher that I've owned. I've owned them all. The only one I haven't owned that I think would be a strong contender that I would strongly consider there would be a Miele. It certainly is a strong contender. And as much, if I was paneling it, I mean, Miele's do historically last 20 years. And I think I would panel it, and that would probably have me hedge more towards one of the top higher end Miele's for longevity and some racking. It has some pretty great racking. Hood, I'd do a hood insert. I'd just pay particular attention to the design of it. In terms of depth and how low, but I'd love to do a hood insert. Followed up with a warming draw. A warming draw I do think is one of the best things, period, for when you do entertain or just for daily use. People passing and keeping things warm would be phenomenal there. And then finally, I would have to have a beverage draw in that kitchen. I would always design it at the end of that island, the one that faces or to a space, maybe it's the end of the run, created closest to the living room. Because even though you have a big 42-inch Sub-Zero in my dream kitchen, I think that takes the curse off of, the beverages and things that people tend to use when you do entertain and getting out from behind your island. That might look to me as beverage center, but quite possibly could be beverage draws, refrigerator draws that I put wood fronts on them. And I'm going to finish with laundry because this is the whole house. Then I'll take a deep breath and it's your run. On the laundry side of things, if I had the space, I'd consider GEs, but honestly, I'm an LG guy when it comes to the laundry. It's just dominated. We've had it over the years. I've had a bunch of different brands. I think the new GEs are very strong, but LG's never, it's just always done the right things for me. I'm a big fan of the LG laundry.
All right, that's a good list. That's a nice kitchen.
That's a nice list.
It's a real nice kitchen you got there. Oh, man.
Wow.
So I think we're going to have some similarities there. And I think as far as brand goes, I would definitely say, I also lean towards Sub-Zero Wolf. I just think the quality, the design, I'm a really big fan of that pro style look as well. I do like that look. So for me, definitely that 42-inch Sub-Zero French door. I would definitely get one with the internal water dispenser as well. I like having that as an option. We use that a lot today in our fridge that we have an external. Internal. I would do the internal. Yep, they only make the internal in that model. Yeah. So internal filter, internal water dispenser there. I would definitely do a cooktop induction as well. Gas is what we have now, and that's one thing I really wish we had an induction, because I just see it going that way, and just the cleanability and the speed and the efficiency of the induction I really like. So I would definitely do that. I think I would do an induction cooktop with a separate wall oven as well, but with a steam oven above it. So I would do that Wolf steam oven there as well. Something that, we've played around with a lot, obviously, in the stores, and something I've always really wanted to have in the home, to be able to cook some different things with steam. I just think it's one of the most unique appliances out there, and you can do things that you really can't do with anything else. It's just a whole different way
rehydrating
of
food. You always talk about warming up leftovers. Yeah.
Yep. I love it. And just being able to cook like things, even like a roast or, anything, vegetables, fish, like all those things that you can do in a steam oven to really kind of keep it hydrated and keep it kind of more moist and fresh versus a traditional oven. So those would be the big things for sure I would do. One thing I would talk about too is the sink. And I didn't count it as a regret in one of our previous episodes, because it was just kind of there when we built the kitchen. But I probably hate my sink more than anything in my house.
I hate my sink.
It's the worst. It's in a corner. It's a small, really round rectangle.
Corner sink?
It's awful. Waste of space, small sink. We have a family of 5, so it's constantly just in and out of there and loaded. So I would definitely look at maybe something like a bigger galley sink as well. 5-footer, if space is not an issue.
You're going for it all.
I would go for it all. So I go a 5-foot galley sink with all the accessories, have the space in there to be able to hide away some of those dirty dishes a little bit easier too. And then when it comes to laundry, I think, honestly, I'm a fan of the GE. We have the GEs now. I would keep those. I really like those. They've been working really well for us too. And hood, going back to hood, I would do a kind of a traditional chimney style hood. I think they're stainless steel, traditional chimney style hood.
That's well played. I like the whole layout. The steam thing for me, I think it's great. I don't know that I'd use it. The 5-foot galley, it's awesome. Again, don't know that I'd use it. Yeah. I'm probably a more purist 36-inch square rectangular deep sink. I do like burying a few things instead of seeing them all. I have a D-bowl sink today, probably the worst design ever. That would be it. Waterstone faucet, I'd probably go.
Absolutely.
Handmade. If you haven't seen one, they're pretty awesome. And that's not just a Yale thing. They're everywhere. They're great. Probably the last, I feel like that and maybe the galley, the last good American-made quality. I shouldn't say it. Perrin and Rowe is certainly in that conversation, but there's only a few that I really think most people think of faucets. They are disposable.
Absolutely.
They look good, but they break quick. But that's it. Listen, I'll come over anytime you want to invite me.
Sounds good. Likewise.
Sounds like you'll have a good party.
All right. That's going to do it for this episode. Thanks.
And don't forget to follow us on social media for appliance tips and updates from Miele Appliance.
Your feedback is what shapes our series. Like what you saw? Give us a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. We love hearing from you.
Stay informed and inspired on all your appliance needs. This is Appliance Advisors signing off.